And now as I sit here, I would give anything just to hold his hands just for a couple more minutes. Definitely one big life lesson there. Sorry, I always get emotional watching ugly people cry. Hey everyone, my name is Matt, and this is going to be a little bit different video this week, a little bit heavier topic. About a month ago, my dad passed away, and it's been very difficult, and I thought it would be interesting and also maybe therapeutic to myself and maybe others to film how I'm feeling, talk about kind of the whole grief experience, and just show a few clips along the way, and also explain the title in a little bit here. I guess first we can cut to a video on the night where I basically said goodbye to my father.
Hi. My dad's about to die. What a dumb thing to say, but true. It's August 2nd. It's around 10 p.m. Just gonna go in and tell my dad a few thoughts that I have. Say some things I wanted to say to him before, all good things, and just get all out there. I don't know. Sometimes it seems therapeutic to make videos like this, and maybe I'll watch it back and re-feel how I was feeling. Is that a bunny? It is. Yeah, so just to recap, a couple days ago my dad basically died. My mom revived him doing CPR for like 30 minutes. They were at the cabin, and he got flown to Mayo. And when we came, he's all hooked up to a bunch of ventilators and tubes and looking like a completely different person. And now it's the second day. He's not looking much better, but there's a little bit more sign that he's there, but not convinced. And so, funny, I thought I'd be crying for this, but this seems actually calming to talk in front of the camera. But yeah, so tonight will be the night I probably just say some things to my dad for the last time, one-on-one. You know, the family will be there tomorrow, and I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I don't expect him to make it out of the hospital. Dad, if you do, no one's happier than me, and I hope I can show you this video, we can laugh at it together, but I don't think that'll be the case. And yeah, I just really just want to tell you how much you mean to me. So that's it. No one's around. It's kind of nice, actually, but still feel a little weird just talking in front of the camera. Don't think anyone else will see this. If you've seen this on purpose or on accident, that's okay. You know I love my dad. See you later.
So my dad passed away a few days after that, and it was definitely very difficult to say goodbye to him in that way. And I felt like I wanted to do something else. And I've been making videos on YouTube for over a year and a half now on a different channel. And I thought, why not take the talents and the skills I've learned from this and talk about my dad on his YouTube channel. My dad is Bob from Bob and Bread. He started the YouTube channel like 14 years ago, and all with the intention of just trying to help more people. And it grew and grew and grew into what it was today, where they're at 5.34 million subscribers, which is crazy. And I thought that's one thing I could do to honor him, is to talk about his final days and how much he meant to us, and sort of give an online eulogy for him. So I think we could just watch that clip right now. Yeah, and I'll just react to parts of it a little bit here. Hey everyone, my name is Matt, but most of you probably know me as Bob's son. I just wanted to take a few minutes here to talk about what happened, give the point of view of myself and my family, and just share a few thoughts about Bob, my dad. I know personally for me, I got to spend probably 5 or 6 hours over the course of the next days, just me and him talking. A weird thing trying to fit a lifetime thing trying to fit a lifetime of conversations into just a few hours. I got to share some of my favorite memories with him. Got to thank him for being such a wonderful dad, and I just talked and talked and talked until I felt like I couldn't say anymore, and it was really nice. Life is a funny thing. For the last 5 years, as we slowly watched him decline, the only thing I would wish for is for him to be back to normal. And then over those past few days where I was just sitting in the hospital bed with him, I would give anything just to have him back to the stage he was at before. And now, you think you're done crying, but you never are really. And now as I sit here, I would give anything just to hold his hand just for a couple more minutes. Definitely one big life lesson there. Sorry, I always get emotional watching ugly people cry. I'm thankful for the time you have with people because you never know when it's going to be cut short. And I'm sure a lot of people out there will also remember him because he has impacted literally millions of people's lives. And I am so proud to be his son. And I'm really going to miss him. I love you, Dad. Well, I didn't cry nearly as much as I thought I would. Just a couple tears. I think that's kind of just shows how the healing process works. You know, you still feel very strongly, but you feel those feelings less. And the comment section is kind of nuts. 47,000 comments. I don't know. Whenever I'd be feeling bad, I would read some of the comments, and I don't know. It feels weird. You know, someone comments, Bob's son, thank you for your beautiful, heartfelt message and sharing Bob's story with us. He absolutely is a hero. 18,000 likes. Like, it's just the scales of what my dad was able to accomplish is incredible. Let's read more comments for a second. Very, very brave of Bob's son to give his testimony. Yeah. His son broke me. What a good young man. That's so nice. Yeah, so every single comment was just so supportive, and yeah, it was very cool to see. So the days leading up to before my dad had passed and the weeks after kind of seemed like a blur. And even now, just looking back, it's, been a little bit over a month, and I'm starting to forget how hard those feelings were, which I think is why it's important to document some of this stuff, just to show yourself how far you have come. A couple weeks ago, I couldn't watch that video without bawling my eyes out the whole time and thinking about my dad. And now I still think about him a lot, but it seems like it's more happy memories. And also, and it's not like, oh my God, he's dead. It's like, darn it. As stupid as that sounds, it's just basically, I really wish you were here. What made it extra hard was we would always have a scheduled call every Monday. And so when that time would come and he wouldn't hop on the video chat and talk to me, that was definitely a very hard pill to swallow. My therapist said that is called cognitive dissonance, where basically something is so stable in your life and you know it to be true for so long, and then one day it's different, and it'll take your body and your brain a very long time to adapt to those changes. He died a couple days before my 30th birthday, and so yeah, to not have him here after 30 years is definitely hard. I remember the day after he died, my wife and I went to Hy-Vee to pick up a few things because we were staying at my mom's place. And bless my wife, she was, the one picking everything out. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go see if there's a coffee maker. I go walking around, and my wife comes and grabs me. She goes, Matt, what the heck are you doing? It's like, what do you mean? I'm looking at a coffee maker. And I was just in a completely wrong section. All this to say, it's incredible how much grief can impact your brain and your thinking. I think it was around 3.5 weeks after he passed. I was walking my dog, and I saw this older man with his dog, and we're kind of far away from each other, and he just gives me a really friendly smile and a wave. And I smiled back, and I realized that was the first time in about a month that I had genuinely smiled at someone. There's a moments where I call it moments of distraction where you're not sad because you're distracted, and that's it. It doesn't bring you true happiness, and so that was definitely kind of a big step to just wave to that older man and realize like, wow, like I was genuinely happy to see him. And now it seems like things are trending upward. Can string together a full good day now, where I'm nice and productive and everything. And yeah, but then there's days like funny enough today where it's kind of like a relapse a little bit, where really just kind of having not the best day. One reason why I wanted to make this video is to talk to people who are going through grief right now. People always say give yourself grace and it'll take time. When people say it, it's like, oh, that's just the most generic thing. Well, they say it for a reason. If I like the analogy that I heard from someone. If you're trying to drive across the country going consistently 75 miles an hour the whole time, that's going to be very difficult to do for several reasons. Let's say you hit a storm, and in that storm, if you tried to go 75 miles an hour, you would crash. And that would slow you down a lot more than if you would just kind of pump the brakes a little bit and go, let's say, 20 miles an hour through the storm. I think that translates well to life, where if you're grieving, don't try to just go back to normal life right away. Definitely give yourself time, because even doing the most basic things can be very difficult. I know there's a lot of days where I would not get up off the couch and be like, oh, I should do this and this and this today. I'd have a checklist of like 7 things to do, and I'd get like one of them done. I just felt like I could not do them. I could not focus on what I was doing. If I tried to, I would end up just being in a worse place than if I just didn't try at all. So definitely give yourself some grace, but also try to think of yourself as a friend. And I know I was giving myself a lot of negative talk. I still do. Where I would say, let's say I'm not doing the best on my diet, and I decide to eat a bowl of ice cream. I'd be like, oh yeah, have another bowl, fatty. And I would call myself fatty in my head. Or if I wasn't being very productive, I would call myself lazy and say, why aren't you doing this? You need to get this done. And if you said that to one of your friends, they would never ever be friends with you again. That is so mean. So why would you say it to yourself? I think it's very important to take care of yourself during times like this. So just go easy on yourself. What can you do if someone you know or love is grieving? Definitely check in. Ask if you can do anything for them, but sometimes you have to be a little bit more assertive. Like I had a friend who offered to go golfing with me, and it was so wonderful, and we did, and we got to talk and everything. But if they're being kind of hesitant and they want to golf, say, hey, I'm going golfing with you this week. And you pick a time. Don't make them decide. So that can go for anything. If you're getting them groceries or ice cream or this or that, tell them, hey, I'm doing this. What do you want? And just make it easy for them. And I think just acts like that very, very much have a great meaning. If I said that right. I had so many people reach out to me and do just nice, generous things. And it was just incredible. The fall off for when people reach out is usually about a week. Maybe there's some people that reach out a week and a half or 2 weeks later. Check in with people 3 weeks, 4 weeks after, just to see how they're doing, because that can sometimes be the loneliest time, where they think they should be feeling better. For some reason, I had 2 weeks in my head where it's like, well, I should be feeling better now. What's going on? And that's definitely not the case. So make sure you just check in with people periodically, several weeks after the fact. I started seeing a therapist a few years ago, and I made a joke to him when I saw him last. And I said, when I first met you, I had a very hard time crying in front of other people. And now I think I've conquered that fear, because I just cried in front of 2 million people. Just to show how far I've come, I'm pretty proud of that. I think it's definitely important to be able to express your emotions. Yeah, I think this is the last thing. If people are wondering what's the best way to grieve, I think just listen to your body. At least for me, Do things that are comforting. I love going to the gym, and so even like the night I said goodbye to my dad, I went to the hotel gym and then talked to my dad after that. It's something that's calming to you. Do something that's familiar for a while and kind of slowly work your way into getting back into normal life. Don't feel bad for the way you're feeling, or if you can't get up off the couch that day. That's okay. You just lost something very important to yourself, whatever it is. And don't compare grief too. Don't compare your grief to someone else's. Comparison definitely is the thief of joy, even in an odd way for grief. Hope that makes sense. Last thing, if it feels like I'm pimping out my dad for views, I totally am. No, we talked about YouTube all the time. I have a different channel with like 1,400 subscribers, and he and I would talk about it all the time. We would talk about what videos do well. We would talk about thumbnails, just everything about it. I hope he is proud of what I'm doing, and I that's kind of one of the bigger drivers for why I want to show more on this channel is just show more of my life. I have some big goals, and honestly, even before my dad passed away, I was not in the best place, and so I'm hoping if I can just show my life right now and show where I'm at, I can look back a year, years from now, and just be happy that I'm in a better place and I didn't give up. So thank you for watching, and reach out if you want someone to talk to. Reach out to me. Hit me up. I'll talk to you. Bye.